We're in downtown LA, and behind me is the Staples Center, home for the Los Angeles basketball team, the Lakers, and also a venue for numerous music concerts, including this year's U2 tour, which will be passing through. But today, it plays host to the X Games. And in the car park behind, today is the Big Air Skateboard Finals. LA's slackers were out in force for the 11th annual X Games, which features such events as BMX, motocross, surfing, inline skating and skateboarding. One skater makes a few last-minute adjustments, checks his helmet, his life insurance policy, then heads down the 80-foot ramp. I don't know much about skateboarding, but I think you're actually supposed to take the skateboard with you when you jump. Kind folks were handing out Tylenol to the crowd, though they might better have been served giving them to the contestants. Do you come down to see them succeed, or do you come down to see them fall?
A little both. A little both, you know, it's a little fun to see them fall.
What did you come down to see today?
This Big Air event, my favorite. It came last year, I think last year was the first year it was here, and man, it's the best thing here, I think. Because it's like ridiculous. Look at these guys.
In the end, the event was won by favourite Danny Way, who performed a frontside 360-degree board grab while travelling across the 70-foot gap at 50 miles an hour, a feat otherwise known as Christ Air. I think the term comes from the abbreviation of the phrase, Christ, what am I doing up 80 foot in the air with this skateboard? Well, that's what I'd be yelling anyway. And what did you think of it? It was cool. Yeah? What was your favourite bit?
I don't know what that means.
What was the best bit for you watching it? What was the highlight?
When they went high. And they did a trick.
Oh yeah, I was the oldest skateboarder and I won everything on the ramps and then on the lower ramps.
Is that right? What's
That's
your
right.
name?
Tommy Hawks.
Tommy Hawk?
Yeah.
And do you still, how long have you been skateboarding?
Oh, 35 years.
Is that right?
They made a movie about me, Dogtown. You don't recognize this red-headed kid with the black?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not a real skater. Should I?
That's one of the youngest great skateboarders there is.
Can I?
Yeah.
And is your son? Yeah.
Yeah, his name is Ben.
Ben? Sorry. Really?
He needs his agent to give him permission.
Not quite sure what the firemen were doing there. An ambulance might have been better. Hollywood went a little bit country for the premiere of The Dukes of Hazzard at Grauman's Chinese Theatre. Cowboy hats were the hot fashion item, though some people went for alternative headgear. The General Lee was there, but the car more used to flying through the fields of Hazzard County was having a hard time coping with the Hollywood traffic. Even at the premiere, Bo and Luke can't get away from Sheriff Coltrane. Most of the celebrities didn't get the memo about wearing cowboy outfits, including Quentin Tarantino, basketball star Tony Parker and his desperate housewife, Eva Longoria, Boss Hogg himself, Burt Reynolds, and Wilma Valderrama, better known as Fez from that 70s show. Thankfully, some of the film's stars got in the spirit, including Wonder Woman herself, Linda Carter, who traded her superhero outfit for a nice Stetson, and Willie Nelson. but it was the Dukes of Hazzard themselves the large crowd had come to see. Johnny Knoxville showed up in a very un-Luke-like white suit, while Jessica Simpson, clutching her fashion accessory husband, Nick Lachey, abandoned Daisy Duke's trademark hot pants in favour of part of a dress. As everyone else was getting ready to take their seats, this man was anxiously calling a screenwriter in a last-minute attempt to save the script. Alas, he was too late. Some unsuspecting residents near Malibu found that, according to one particular map, the small strip of land on which they lived and called home had been unceremoniously snipped off. It seems, by including the area, a three-dimensional map on exhibit at the LA County Fair closely resembled a certain part of the male anatomy. "We didn't want to offend people," said Judy Hammond, the county's Director of Public Affairs. "We realise sex is a good advertising tool, but that's really not what we're going for," she added. "Personally, I think the anatomically complete picture of the LA County is appropriate, considering the nature of most of the people that actually live there." In a move designed to help drivers, the California Department of Transport have started to post up projected travel times on freeway signs. The idea is to warn any drivers of impending delays so that they can take alternative routes. For anyone who's sat in LA's perpetually gridlocked traffic, anxiously looking at their watch and the passing snails, any scheme designed to alleviate the city's congestion should be gratefully welcomed. I'm just not sure this is the answer. In fact, rather than alleviating the problem, the new signs seem to be adding to it, as drivers now slow down as they pass to read the latest update. The oil companies, on the other hand, have come up with a far more effective way to resolve LA's traffic problem: raise petrol prices. As gas reached record highs around $3 a gallon, commuters have started to look for alternative modes of transport. While some have got on their bikes, others have turned to public transport. But for anyone who's ever struggled to get around LA using the buses or the skeletal subway system, they know, as do the oil companies, that it's going to take petrol to rise well above $3 a gallon before people start abandoning their cars. I'm thinking maybe like $20 a gallon. Another Hollywood landmark is gone. The Beverly Hills home of George and Ira Gershwin was recently demolished. In a sad trend, little respect is paid to the city's glamorous legacy, as famous landmarks are continually being pulled down. The most notorious example of willful destruction is the 1990 razing of Pickfair, the one-time home of Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks. The fault lies in the fact that Beverly Hills lacks a historic preservation ordinance. The city claims that with so many celebrities living there, to protect all their homes would be impractical. So for now, the demolition of the Gershwin home means that in addition to more work for the builders, all those people selling maps of the stars' homes will once again be out buying Tipp-Ex and making yet another change. In a city where everybody is a screenwriter, it's difficult to get yourself noticed. To do that, people go to extraordinary lengths. One man even took out a billboard. Every month, LA Consequential features a well-known movie location. Today we're outside the Ambassador Hotel, home of the fabled Coconut Grove nightclub and the site used in a number of Hollywood's biggest movies, including The Graduate, Pretty Woman, Rocky and Forrest Gump. But as well as its glamorous history, The Ambassadors has a dark past. It was here on the 5th of June 1968 that Senator Robert Kennedy was assassinated. Opened in 1921, the Ambassador stands on 23 acres in what is now Koreatown. The hotel's Coconut Grove instantly became the fashionable Hollywood hangout, with such stars as Joan Crawford, Carole Lombard and Loretta Young being discovered dancing at the famous nightclub. The Ambassador's connection with the movies has been a long one. In addition to hosting parties for the likes of Jean Harlow, Douglas Fairbanks and Rudolph Valentino, the hotel hosted the Academy Awards during the 30s and 40s. It's also been featured in numerous films, including The Graduate, where the lobby, reception area and Palm Bar are the setting for Dustin Hoffman and Anne Bancroft's clandestine meeting. Other films that were shot at the Ambassador include A Star is Born, True Romance, The Wedding Singer, Apollo 13, Catch Me If You Can and The Mask. Closed since 1989, the Ambassador is now owned by the LA Unified School District, who propose to either demolish it or convert it into a massive school. But for now, it sits behind closed gates. Its only guests are ghosts, security guards, and the frequent film crews. Although the Ambassador is associated with Hollywood's golden age, it will perhaps forever be remembered more for that fateful evening back in 1968. As signs, fences, and closed-circuit cameras now ward off any possible intruders. Are you talking to us?
Talking to us.
It's just a shame security wasn't as tight that night. So, that's what was happening this month in LA. So it's goodbye from us, and it's goodbye from her.